Hello and welcome to PolyLearn support. This video is going to show you how to create and use the database activity for your PolyLearn course. The first thing you need to do is turn editing on, which is in the upper right hand corner of your course view. Now you can choose which block you want to create your database under and then select Add an Activity or Resource. Choose Database and then select Add. Now you can name the database and add a description. The description of the database is a great place to explain what the point of the database is. I'm going to name this database Cabinet Members and give the description that this database will be full of Trump's cabinet members. The rest of the options are laid out below in expandable tabs. These databases allow you to decide if entries need to be approved, if you want comments to be allowed, and other options having to do with the database. You can also set when this database will be available and how it will be graded if it will be graded. Once you have decided on all your settings and have the database set up, scroll to the bottom of the page and select Save and Display. Now we will be taken into the setup for the actual database on the Fields tab. Earlier we decided on some very basic options for the database as a whole, but on this page we will set up the way the database will look. To do this, we will add fields that every entry will need. Since we are doing a database for cabinet members, we will include a name, a picture, and an age. Each of these options will have a field associated with it. For their name, we will use the text input field. To add a text input field, select the drop-down menu and then select Text Input. Now we will add a name for the field and a description. For this, we will just say cabinet member name and describe it as the name of the cabinet member. This is a very necessary field, so we will also check the required field box. Autolink simply means that if a URL is entered, it will be live, and the user could click it to go to that URL. That doesn't apply to us here, so we will leave it unchecked. Finally, hit Add. Now that we have added the name field, we should check out how it looks. First thing to do is to add an entry so we'll have something to see. So we'll go to the Add Entry tab and add an entry. The first member will be Rex Tillerson, so we'll enter his name here for that. Now we will hit Save and View. And you'll notice that nothing appears. There's just an error that says single template is not yet defined. So while we define each entry by attributing fields to it, we also need to define how we view it. That is determined by the templates. So now we'll go over to the Templates tab. In here, there are two different templates, one for the list view and one for the single view. You can set them up to look different if you want, but I will just set them up to look the exact same. As you can see, there's already a template set up here. PolyLearn knows what fields you have and will attempt to set it up for you. For now, this will do, so we'll just hit Save Template and head over to the List Template tab. This list template is a little different because it also has options for a header and a footer. I will put in the words header and footer so we can see where they are later. This template was also made for us already, so we'll just go hit Save Template at the bottom of the screen and see if it worked. So here in the list view, we can see that it worked, and here in the single view, you can also see the name. Now it is time to add another field. This field will be a picture of the member, so we will go back to the Fields tab and again hit the drop-down menu to add a field. This time we will choose Picture, however. Now I will put in the name and description of the picture, just like before. And this is also a very important field, so we'll make it required too. The width and height are how tall and wide you want your picture to be. I usually just do 200 for all of them, but it's personal preference. Now hit Add, and let's head back over to the Add Entry tab. This time we will add Jeff Sessions. We'll put his name in here and upload a picture here. Then, as always, we'll put in the alternative text. Finally, we'll hit Save and View. Now you can see that we have a picture included, but it looks as if it's at the bottom of everything. Let's go to the Template tab and see what's happening. Here we can see that the photo tag is under everything, so that is why it appeared at the bottom. The bracket, picture of member, bracket, is where the picture will show up. The easiest way to fix this is to just hit the Reset button and let PolyLearn fix the template for you. And then don't forget to save. Now I'll do it for the list template too. But be careful and make sure you re-enter your header and footer because the reset will clear them both. Now we will check to make sure the changes worked. We will go to the list view, and there's our picture of Sessions, no longer under everything. Databases look best when entries all look the same, so let's put a picture of Rex in his entry. To do that, we will click on the little gear under Tillerson's entry. This takes us back into the settings page for Tillerson, but now the option to add a picture is there. So we'll simply add a picture, and as always, the alternative text underneath. Now let's make sure it looks good by hitting Save and View. As we can see, our Rex looks good, and if we go over, Sessions looks good too. Now I'll add the final field, which is their age. So once again, back to the Fields tab, and hit the drop-down menu, and select Number. Just like the last two times, we will put in a name and a description, but their age is not that important to the entry, so we will not check Required Field. Now hit Add. Since we know the template is going to be off, let's adjust those now before we add a new entry. So we'll go to Templates, and reset the single template, then save. Then reset the list template too. But before we save, I will put in the header and footer words so we can see those. Now we will go to the list view. Quickly notice the header and footer words. That's where the header and footer are. Let's add an age to Rex. Again, we hit the gear button, and now we add his age into this box. When you're done, hit Save and View, and we can see that Rex has an age in his entry. Everything looks good now, so that's all for the databases video. And if you have any more questions, please visit our PolyLearn support website at polylearnsupport.calpoly.edu.